The latte art looked innocent enough. A simple leaf pattern in the foam, nothing unusual for Seattle's trendiest coffee shop. But to the Russian intelligence operative sitting at table 7, it was a death sentence. Because the barista drawing it had spent 15 years extracting secrets from people just like him. Elena Decoder Vasquez wasn't just making coffee today, she was brewing justice. Welcome to the Last Salute, where America's deadliest operatives hide in plain sight. Before I show you how a coffee shop barista turned espresso machines into interrogation tools, smash that subscribe button if you believe the most dangerous people are often the ones serving your morning coffee. This spy thriller will leave you questioning every cafe you've ever visited. What city are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. Let's see how far this reaches. Been there, done that. Pike Place Market, Seattle's most Instagrammable coffee shop, where tech bros paid $8 for artisanal lattes and never looked twice at the woman making them. Elena Vasquez had been pulling espresso shots for 3 years. Quiet, efficient, invisible, the kind of employee who showed up early, stayed late, and never caused drama. At 34 years old, she looked exactly like Seattle expected. Another millennial with a liberal arts degree working food service while pursuing her real passion. What the hipster coffee crowd didn't know was that Elena earned $15 an hour plus tips because it was the perfect surveillance post for monitoring threats they couldn't imagine. Former CIA Senior Operations Officer Elena Decoder Vasquez. 15 years of enhanced interrogation across 3 continents. Psychological manipulation specialist who could extract state secrets using nothing but conversation and carefully applied pressure. Her specialty hadn't been waterboarding or physical torture. It was reading people. Every micro-expression, every vocal stress pattern, every unconscious tell that revealed when someone was lying. Elena could break trained operatives using nothing but the right questions asked at the right moment. Her last official assignment had been infiltrating a Russian sleeper cell in Prague. 3 months of deep cover that ended with 12 arrests and a commendation she couldn't tell anyone about. But that mission had revealed something troubling. The sleeper network was larger than anyone suspected. And some of those sleepers were operating right here in Seattle. So Elena had done what deep cover operatives do. She'd stayed in character and kept working. If you're already hooked by this setup, hit that subscribe button now. Because what happens when spies meet at a coffee shop is about to get incredible. Elena knew every customer's order by heart, not because she was good at customer service, because she was good at pattern recognition. Dr. Sarah Kim. Oat milk cortado, arrives 8:47 a.m., sits alone, reads medical journals, legitimate. Marcus Chen. Double shot Americano, arrives 9:15 a.m., takes calls in Mandarin. Venture capitalist, probably legitimate. Dmitry Volkov. Cappuccino, extra hot, arrives 10:30 a.m. every Tuesday and Friday. Claims to be a graduate student in computer science. Definitely not legitimate. For 6 months, Elena had been watching Dmitry. His coffee order never varied, but his companions did. Always men, always brief meetings, always conversations in Russian that they thought nobody could understand. Elena understood every word. Today's meeting was different. Dmitry had arrived with a new contact, younger, nervous, carrying a laptop bag that never left his side. They'd chosen table 7, the corner booth with sight lines to both entrances. Professional tradecraft. These weren't grad students discussing dissertations. Elena began preparing their order, but her training kicked in automatically. Every movement calculated. Every pour designed to position her within optimal listening range. The latte art wasn't decoration. It was communication. Are you ready to see how coffee art becomes spy warfare? Subscribe and keep watching. This is about to get espionage-level intense. Elena had developed her own language over 3 years of surveillance. Latte art that looked random to customers but conveyed critical intelligence to her CIA handler. Simple leaf pattern. Target confirmed. Surveillance ongoing. Heart shape. High-value intelligence detected. Rosetta pattern. Immediate threat identified. Today's foam art was something she'd never drawn before, a skull. As Elena carried the drinks to table 7, she activated the recording device hidden in her apron. Standard protocol for potential intelligence gathering. "Cappuccino, extra hot," she said pleasantly, setting Dimitri's cup down with the skull pattern clearly visible. Dimitri glanced at the foam art and went completely still, not because he understood the message, because he recognized something else: the precision, the deliberate placement, the kind of attention to detail that only came from intelligence training. When Elena set down the second cup, she caught fragments of their conversation. "The payload arrives Thursday. Downtown target confirmed. Evacuation protocols in place." Elena's blood went cold. This wasn't espionage. This was operational planning for an attack on Seattle. Elena returned to the espresso machine, mind racing. 15 years of CIA training had taught her to think 10 steps ahead. These weren't just intelligence operatives. They were active terrorists planning something catastrophic. But she was deep cover, no backup, no official authorization, and if she was wrong, she'd blown years of careful surveillance for nothing. Elena made her decision the way interrogators always did, by reading the room. Dimitri was watching her now. His companion had gone silent. They knew something was wrong. Elena triggered the silent alarm she'd installed behind the espresso machine 3 years ago. Not connected to the police, connected to her former CIA handler's emergency line. Then she did something that went against every deep cover protocol. She went on the offensive. "Dimitri," she called out in perfect Russian, "you left your phone charger yesterday." The effect was instantaneous. Both men went rigid. Dimitri's hand moved toward his jacket. His companion reached for the laptop bag. Elena had just blown her cover to save Seattle. The younger operative stood and headed for the back exit. Classic escape protocol. But Elena had been monitoring this coffee shop for 3 years. She knew every entrance, every blind spot, every possible escape route. More importantly, she knew how to cut them off. If this spy thriller is blowing your mind, subscribe to The Last Salute right now. We uncover these incredible undercover heroes every week. The finale is going to be explosive. Elena triggered the cafe's emergency lockdown system, another improvement she'd made during her employment. Magnetic locks on all exits, security shutters on the windows. Standard coffee shop suddenly became an interrogation facility. "Nobody leaves until I get answers," Elena announced, her voice carrying the authority of someone who'd broken enemy operatives in Syrian safe houses. Dimitri reached for his weapon. Elena was faster. The espresso machine's steam wand, superheated to 300 degrees, made an excellent non-lethal deterrent when properly applied. Dimitri dropped his gun and screamed. "Laptop, now!" Elena ordered the younger operative. "You don't understand." "I understand that you're planning to kill innocent people in my city," Elena interrupted. "The only question is whether you tell me the details before or after I demonstrate advanced interrogation techniques." The laptop contained everything: building schematics, chemical composition notes, timing sequences. A coordinated attack on Seattle's transit system designed to maximize civilian casualties. Elena had stopped it with nothing but coffee shop equipment and 15 years of professional paranoia. When the CIA tactical team arrived 8 minutes later, they found Elena calmly restraining 2 Russian operatives while brewing their emergency response coffee. "Status report?" her former handler asked. "3-phase terrorist operation neutralized, complete intelligence package secured, and I just invented a new drink called the Interrogator, espresso with a shot of truth serum." "Truth serum?" Elena smiled. "Extra hot chocolate. Makes people very talkative." Been there, done that, reopened the next day with a new manager. Elena Vasquez had decided to pursue other opportunities. The official story was a gas leak that required temporary evacuation. No mention of Russian operatives. No mention of prevented terrorist attacks. No mention of the barista who'd saved thousands of lives with latte art and interrogation skills. Elena returned to official CYA duty, but kept her espresso machine skills sharp. Because sometimes the most important intelligence comes from people who think they're just ordering coffee. And in Seattle's intelligence community, there's now a standing rule. Never underestimate anyone who can draw a perfect Rosetta in your foam. They might be reading more than your coffee order. Before you go, if this spy thriller amazed you, subscribe to The Last Salute and hit that notification bell. Next week, the story of a yoga instructor who turned downward dog into a takedown technique when terrorists attacked her studio. Drop a comment about the most unexpected person who surprised you. Until next time, this is The Last Salute, honoring the warriors who serve our lattes and our freedom.